If you look at the best players in the world, the majority of them are amazing off the tee with their driver. So in today's video, I'm going to show you 3 tips that are guaranteed to help you lower your score. Now make sure you stay for tip number 3, as that is the swing thought that I use out on the golf course. You do not want to miss this video. The number one issue that I see that causes people to struggle off the tee is they have a poor setup position. Now, let's start with ball position. I see so many golfers get the ball way too far forwards, and it's because they're using the wrong reference guides. I know a lot of people say use the lower body as a reference guide, but it's bad advice. And the reason being is because we all stand different stance widths. Depending on height, size, preference, all of these different things are going to cause our stance width to be different. So, what do I hear most common? Have the ball off the big toe, or have the ball off the inside part of your left heel. Well, if I set up with a nice wide stance like we want to have, what we then see is that golf ball is now outside of my left shoulder. So the issues this causes is the ball's now too far forwards in the arc. We're either going to hit up on it too much, which can cause low strikes. We can also be swinging too far to the left, which can cause pulls and slices. Or we're going to meet it with our upper body. And again, this is going to cause a whole heap of issues where we're coming over the top. And again, it can be a fireworks display out there. So if we don't want to use the lower body, let's use the upper body. Very simply, I want the ball position to be positioned underneath the left armpit. That's a fantastic guide. Reason being is the left side of our body controls low point the most. If we position the ball underneath the left armpit, you can see if I hang my arm straight down, my fingertips are closest to the ground underneath my left shoulder, left armpit. If I move my hands forwards, my fingertips are coming up, and I move my hand back, fingertips are coming up. And that just demonstrates that the golf swing's on an arc. So we want to position the ball roughly under the lowest point of our arc. This is going to allow us, when we add some tilts in, to hit up on the ball. Draw a line straight down from that left armpit, and you'll actually notice, if you do want to use that lower body as your guide still, that it's about a golf ball inside my left heel. So now that I position this golf ball in the right position underneath my left armpit, once I've added in a little bit of tilt, you can now see I'm in a great position to where I can really hit up on the golf ball, not too much to where it's going to compromise strike or club path, but enough to where I can optimize things out, hit the ball far, and also maintain a lot of control in the process of doing it. So the second biggest fault that I see as addressed that people get wrong with driver is their forearm alignment. What I see with the majority of amateurs is that their right arm, their trail arm, is higher than their lead arm. Now this does a couple of things. Firstly, you can now see this has gotten my shoulders pointing too far to the left. Now, if there's one thing you need to understand about the swing is that the shoulders play far more of an influence over the path than the feet do. So I could aim my feet to the right to try and promote a draw shape, but if I have my right arm higher than my left and my shoulders are open, I'm going to follow my shoulders and swing over the top and hit a big old slide. We need to make sure that we can get those forearms in the right position to not only fix the shoulders, but to also fix our tilts. Because you can see, if I set up to the ball here and then I drop my right arm lower than my left, you can see how that's changing my tilts. When my trail arm is higher than my lead arm, my tilts, my upper body is leaning towards the target. Versus if I can just drop that arm under slightly, now you can see that's not only changed my shoulder alignment, but it's also changed my tilts. It's got me leaning a little bit further away from the target. This is going to help me again with that angle of attack, swing a little bit more from the inside, and ultimately again optimize out my driver ball flight, giving us a lovely little neutral to slight draw shape. A great guide for this is number 1, try and see if you can spot a little bit of your left arm above your right from the down the line view. Then from there, as you look down towards the target, your left shoulder, your lead shoulder, should be slightly in your view. If you look up to the target and you can't see your left shoulder or your lead shoulder in your periphery, then you've got your shoulders too far open. So the second tip that's going to improve your driving in 2023 is understanding how to move your head in your driver swing. Now, what do I see with the majority of amateur golfers who are struggling with their driver? Well, as they swing to the top of their backswing, we see in the downswing their head really moves forwards. Now, as you can do this, you can see this is affecting my tilts. This is getting me to swing over the top and hit down on the golf ball. And ultimately, this is going to produce poor results. Now, what do we see with actually the best players in the world? Well, we see that when they swing, if I was to draw a line down their left ear, that actually by the time they get back to impact, their head is even further behind that line. And they're doing this by what we call right bend, which is essentially just doing this, tilting to the right. If I then did this with some turn, you can now see my head's behind the ball and I have a lot of this right bend and I can hit up on it. Now, how can we actually train this into our golf swing? Well, there are two main drills that we can do. One of them you need a buddy for, one of them you don't. So let's go through the one first that you need a buddy for. You might have seen this on the driving range a lot, but you want somebody just to hold an alignment stick or a golf club just on the left side of your head. Now, obviously they want to be standing far enough away to where you're not going to catch them with your golf club, but this is going to act as a great reference guide. Reason being is if you go to the top of your swing and you lunge into that alignment stick or that golf club, you know your head is moving forwards and you're compromising your tilts. Versus if you can actually feel like, okay, I'm going to make a swing here and I'm going to feel like I stay behind this alignment stick the whole time and hit up on the ball, you're really going to notice the difference and it's going to give you direct feedback. What's a great drill for you to do, or also what's a drill for you to do out on the golf course before you potentially hit a drive? Grab a driver, hold it in front of your lead foot with your lead arm on top of the grip like this. Now make sure that arm is fully straight, and the one key with this drill is we don't want to be moving this around too much. Then from there, take your trail hand and imagine that is your golf club. You're going to make a swing and you're going to feel like your head stays behind your lead arm and you're going to underhand throw and hit the top of your lead shoulder. Now, if you do this incorrectly, what are we going to see? Well, obviously we're going to see the head move towards the lead arm. We either are going to see you catch that golf club, or you'll miss the golf club and you'll finish too low with your arm right here. You'll hit somewhere in the middle of your rib cage. So head behind the ball. From here, we're going to feel like we stay behind it, underhand throw, hit the top of the lead shoulder. Now you can see this is going to put me in that sort of position that we want to be in, to where we can swing a little bit more from the inside and also hit up on the ball more. Try both of these out and you're going to find that your head stays behind the ball more, you're going to tilt behind it, and ultimately from there you're going to get a better club path and a better angle of attack, resulting in better drives. So tip number 3 is my favorite tip, and the reason being is because this is my swing thought that I have on the golf course and it has saved me a bunch. Now what is it? Well, it's actually to change what we focus on. If you focus on hitting the tee rather than the ball, as long as you haven't teed that ball up crazy high, you're going to be in a great position to be successful and strike the ball more out the middle of the face. Now, one of the biggest issues that I have is I hit it low in the face. I know a lot of golfers struggle with strike. So by actually changing the emphasis, I found that I could hit the middle to higher up in the face a little bit more often, which gave me way better launch conditions and ultimately made me a better driver of the golf ball. Now, how do I want you to train this? Well, I want you to take the golf ball off the tee to start with. Now from here, I just want you to do some swings, and again, we're not trying to smash down on this, we're trying to have a positive angle of attack, we're trying to hit up on the ball, but we are just going to do some swings and we're just going to feel like we can just clip that tee as we swing through. This is going to give us a beautiful ascending blow on the ball, but it's still going to give us a good strike to where we can hit it in the middle of the face. Now once you've done that a couple times, pop the ball back on the tee. And now from here, I want you to repeat that same feeling. I still want you to feel like you're clipping the tee, you're hitting the tee, not the ball. And ultimately from there, you're gonna see way better results in terms of strike. Now this is gonna massively help you on, say, your first tee shot. If you're very nervous, by focusing on hitting the tee rather than the ball, you're gonna ensure that you have a better strike. So, set up to that ball, focus on just trying to clip that tee, not the ball, and then from there, you're gonna have a beautiful strike with a nice ascending blow, as long as you do the other 2 points as well. So try these 3 tips out in 2023. Make sure you put an emphasis on improving your driving, and I guarantee you, you're going to shoot lower scores. Now, if you do need more one-to-one help with your driving, then I offer online lessons on the Skillist app. I'll put the link down below, and I'd love to have you on board and help you with your game one-to-one personally. If you have enjoyed today's video, then please give it a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you back here soon.